delight edibles. Yep, that's right. I said edibles. And I know what some of you were thinking, Liz, for the love of God, make up your mind. So no, from here on forward, I am sticking to edibles. I lost a whole bunch of subscribers, and that made me really sad because so many of you have been with me for this entire like 6 years that I've had my channel, and I would not have been able to achieve getting this plaque from YouTube for getting 100,000 subscribers. Like I said, and I want to just thank each and every one of you, Liz. Like I said, I could never get this without you. So thank you so much, and going forward, like I said, I'm going to keep it as an edibles channel. I'm going to try and word things a little funny or whatever, but hopefully you'll understand. I just want to bring you lots of more yummy edible recipes. So today's a special day, February 23rd. It's my birthday, and I wanted to celebrate my special day with you by bringing you this awesome chocolate brownie space cookies. They are so scrumptious. And like really, brownie cookies, how can you go wrong? So let's jump into those ingredients you're going to need, the equipment, and then I'm going to show you how to make these awesome tasty bombs. All right, so the ingredients that we are going to need for our chocolate brownie space cookies is 1 1/4 cups of all-purpose flour, 1/4 cup of brown sugar packed, 1/2 cup of regular sugar, 1/2 cup of space sugar, or infused sugar, whatever way you want to do it. Now, you can do this any way you want. As long as you end up with 3/4 cup of sugar, however you want to split that up, that's totally up to you. Here I've got a 1/4 cup of our infused butter and then 1/4 cup of regular butter. Again, however you mix that up, that is totally up to you. As long as you end up with 1/2 cup of butter, it will have whatever proportions you decide to do is totally up to you. For our dry ingredients, we have a 1/4 cup of cocoa powder, a tablespoon of instant coffee, or you can use espresso powder, a teaspoon, a 1/2 teaspoon of baking powder, and a 1/4 teaspoon of salt. We're going to want 2 large eggs and 1 1/2, 1 1/4 cups of chocolate chips. Semi-sweet. I like the semi-sweet. You can use whatever you like. But for that richer flavor, you want to go with semi-sweet. And a teaspoon of vanilla. That's pretty much it for our ingredients. Let me get into the equipment, and then let's get these made. I can't wait. Brownies and cookies together, oh my. All right, so the equipment that we're going to need is a hand or a stand mixer, and we're going to be using the paddle, a cookie sheet with your cooling wrap, parchment paper if you have it, if not, non-stick cooking spray, a spatula, a whisk, of course something like measuring spoons and measuring cups, and we're going to want a strainer to be able to sift our ingredients together. That's pretty much it for our equipment, so let's get into the exciting part and make the actual cookies. Okay, so before we get started, we've also going to preheat our oven to 350 degrees Fahrenheit. Let that warm up. All right, so the first thing that we are going to do is we're going to sift all our dry ingredients here, our cocoa powder, our coffee, our baking powder, and our salt, and we're just going to sift them into our flour here. Just getting the instant coffee through. And then we're just going to whisk those ingredients together. All right, into our blender into the blender goes our sugar. So I've got my special sugar, our regular sugar, and our brown sugar. I pack that up. And we're going to mix our eggs and our sugar together. So in go our eggs, and our eggs, when you're baking, you always want your eggs to be room temperature. And we can add our vanilla in here as well. 1 teaspoon of vanilla. On goes the paddle, and we're going to mix that until it's well mixed together. Okay, once your egg and sugar are well mixed, I'll try to get that to show you. So like so. That's what it should look like. Now we are going to add in our flour. So this is our flour, our cocoa powder, and our baking powder, and our salt. That can all go in. And we'll also be adding in the yummy part, the chocolate with our butter. In a microwave safe bowl, add half a cup of butter with 1 cup of chocolate chips, and then you're going to want to microwave in 10-second intervals, stirring in between each of the intervals until your chocolate and butter are fully melted and is nice and smooth and shiny. Now we're going to mix all our ingredients together. And once it becomes combined here, you just want to scrape down the sides. You want to do at least 1 scrape down off the paddle. Just scrape down the edges of your bowl. And then just make sure everything is fully incorporated. So this is the texture that you want your cookie dough to be. Nice and stiff, not all runny. So if it's a little too runny, just add a little bit of flour at a time until you get the right consistency. All right, now with the rest of our chocolate chips, we're going to just fold them in to our cookie dough here. All right, like so. So here's our cookie dough. So again, because I don't have parchment paper, I'm going to be using some non-stick cooking spray and generously spray my cookie tray. All right, so I'm going to be using a cookie scoop or a small ice cream scoop for my cookies. All right, so you want to put your cookies, you want to use a little scoop or a teaspoon or a tablespoon, and try and keep them all about the same size. You want to spread them about 2 inches or so apart. And we are going to bake these for about 12 to 15 minutes. And this recipe makes about 24 cookies. Obviously, depending on the size that you make yours. But if you're using a scoop like this, it makes about 24. Ooh, let's check out our cookies. Look at these. Ooh. So you said you want the centers to still be soft. I'll watch for the melted hot chocolates. They're hot. And on the edges here, that they're crispy. They look so yummy. They do look like little brownies. Ow, that is hot. So you want to let them cool on the tray first for about 10 minutes before transferring them to the cooling rack. I cannot wait to try these. So the cookies have cooled enough, still slightly bit warm. Best way to have brownies. But check these out. They're nice and crispy on the edges. And then look in the center here. Look at them. Ah, these look like little mini brownies. And check out the middle. Look at that. Just like a brownie. Doesn't that look scrumptious? Mmm. Oh, that is so good. You have that like ooey gooey brownie-like texture and the nice crispy edge. Mmm. That is the perfect cookie. Oh, I really hope you guys try out this recipe. You will not be disappointed. All right, guys, thank you so much for joining me for our chocolate brownie space cookies. I really do hope you give these a try. You will not be disappointed. And I'd love to hear your feedback in the comments. But once again, thanks again for joining me, and you have an awesome rest of your day.